The search for a missing Calgary boy with autism.
The distance between Calgary and Dublin, Ireland. So obviously it is a massive amount of walking that has been done.
Police release new footage. Cyber attack impact felt.
We have classes coming up and students cannot enroll. Students who are going to want to come to this university can't register.
Even a month later, the frustration for Mount Royal University staff and students. And what's behind the milk shortage leaving Calgary store shelves bare?
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla DiGiuseppe.
Good evening. There's still no sign of Parker Wells. He's the 11-year-old who disappeared from his day home last Thursday. This despite about 200 tips from the public examining hundreds of hours of surveillance video and thousands of kilometers of search area covered. As Tyson Fedor reports, police did release new surveillance footage of Parker in hopes it will help lead them to the youngster who is autistic and nonverbal.
New surveillance video of 11-year-old Parker Wells has been released. This video is from last Thursday and shows Parker without a shirt walking near Busy McKnight Boulevard and Center Street. It was captured nearly 20 minutes before this video when Parker is wandering along a residential Travis Crescent directly north of that business location.
These files, searches of this degree, are very, very rare in Calgary.
Search efforts ramped up over the weekend searching for Parker, who is nonverbal and has autism. Thursday, he was reported missing from his day home, some of his clothing found shortly after. He was then captured on 2 separate security cameras before police notified the public of his disappearance, and an Alberta emergency alert was issued over the weekend.
He needs us, he needs the position that he's in. He needs as much help as possible.
Hundreds of volunteers signed up with Stephen Fan, who is coordinating searches.
My heart aches for that family. They've indicated that they would like us to focus our search within this area.
Residents have left food and water out for Parker, who police say you should not approach, as he may be scared and functions at the level of a 2 or 3-year-old.
Just because a door is locked does not mean that Parker's not on the other side.
However, with the search into day 5, every minute he is not found without access to water or food could become dangerous.
We're going to keep hoping that he's alive, and we are going to keep acting as if he is alive.
Police say he could be hiding in garages, sheds, or under decks.
This is going to take everyone in order to be able to find him, because there are so many places in Calgary where a child of this size could hide.
So the investigation, depending on what we find in the next 12 hours, the next 24 hours, the next 36 hours, we will respond with the best possible resource we have.
Juliana Mello's son, Paulo, is also autistic. Paulo went searching with his friend over the weekend.
They know the mindset. So I said, search where you would hide or where you think your friends would hide.
And Monday, he asked her to help, their vehicle now covered in posters.
I felt this great anxiety, and I love Calgary so much that if we could maybe a fresh set of eyes, or maybe we'll lure him out of hiding.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
Investigators say some people are creating and distributing AI images of Parker or sharing information about the case that is not true. Police have been playing some of Parker's favorite Disney songs from their vehicles in hopes it attracts Parker and encourages him to come out if he is nearby. The disappearance of 11-year-old Parker Wells is prompting calls for changes to Alberta's emergency alert system. A Calgary mother says there should be a faster public alert system, even when there is no evidence that they've been abducted. Kevin Green reports.
Jen Ball is the mother of 7-year-old Holt. He's autistic, and she says kids like him and Parker, who is presently missing, can face immediate danger if they wander.
They will walk into traffic immediately and not have any cognition that there's a car coming and it could injure them. They are just in their own little happy bubble most of the time.
Ball says she didn't realize Amber Alerts are only used in suspected abductions.
I didn't truly understand what an Amber Alert was. I truly thought that it was a missing child, point blank, period. I didn't realize that there was such a gap in the system, in that it's only for child abductions.
She started a petition calling for a new alert.
And we make it so that it is for all children, all missing children, or we create something called an Indigo Alert. and it's specific. The color of autism awareness is indigo.
The Missing Children Society of Canada says too many alerts could lead to alert fatigue. Police already use the Child Search Network to send alerts, but people have to sign up to receive those.
It is a system that only police can operate, and it was specifically designed so that police could activate an alert immediately when the escalation risk happened outside of Amber Alert.
Police did use that in Parker's case. Then they approached the province and an emergency alert was issued 2 days after Parker went missing. But police don't want to talk about alerts right now.
There is going to be plenty of time to quarterback any decisions on this investigation afterwards. Our primary focus will be on Parker and must remain on Parker.
In a statement to CTV, the province says in the coming months we will be reviewing the alert system to identify best practices used across the country and assess whether any improvements can be made, ensuring Albertans have the most effective tools possible to help bring missing children and vulnerable people home. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
And for more on the Child Search Network, visit our website. Students and staff at Mount Royal University are concerned and frustrated after a cyber attack targeting the school last month compromised the sensitive information of thousands. As Alicia Fieldberg reports, it's leaving many people's lives in limbo and opening calls for a larger investigation into the university.
Summer courses are in session at Mount Royal University, but students and staff say it's not school as usual, more than a month after a cyber attack impacting several university services.
I almost missed my tuition payment and I almost got dropped out of my school because I didn't know where to check or what to do.
On June 18th, MRU reported a cyber breach. Weeks later, it revealed someone unauthorized accessed and erased data from some university computer folders in a ransomware attack. MRU says it's trying to recover the data, but it might not be possible to get everything back. Security experts say CMD organization is taking responsibility for the attack, and it already leaked some private information online to attract buyers.
However, the auction site for the university's data has now disappeared. Does this mean that they've sold it to the highest bidder, or has the university paid a ransom?
In the meantime, students can't register for classes or access information, including transcripts needed to apply for other universities. Some former students can't even apply for certain jobs without these documents, including one who spoke anonymously since MRU said her information was compromised.
I'm quite frustrated and stressed out about it all, kind of raising the question of when I'm going to be able to move forward with my life. And then the lack of communication has been really frustrating as well.
Many also worry about the long-term risks after their personal information was exposed, including some who have been targeted by stalkers.
Thousands of people's lives who are now impacted, and we're going on over a month now.
MRU is offering credit monitoring to current and former employees, but not to students. Some say it's too little too late and want the province to investigate.
There needs to be an investigation into the decision-making and the operation and management of this university, because we're talking hundreds of millions of tax dollars. This not only is an erosion of the reputation of the institution, but for those of faculty like myself who focus on security and public safety, it's an embarrassment.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Danielle is in with our first look at the weather. Hope anyone out there got to enjoy today, because I think the next several days it's going to be quite the game changer. Maybe not the best game changer for most.
Yeah, today was that reasonable heat, and we had a few days of that where we got a break from that more excessive heat, which will be returning, and this will be a long stretch of it. So most of this week will either feel closer to 30 or actually be at 30 with regards to temperature, and then much of next week will be in that range as well. So this is a long-term hot stretch that we're heading into. Another key thing to look at is, we have a mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow, but the air will be a little smoky at times. So we've been at low on that air quality health index, but tomorrow and really for the next few days, we may bump up to moderate on that air quality health index scale. So not the greatest air quality, but it won't be as bad as our friends to the north. We'll talk more about this coming up.
Danielle, thank you so much. The entire city of Kimberley, BC remains under an evacuation alert as a number of wildfires burn out of control nearby. The fast-moving Matthew Creek wildfire is burning about 15 kilometers west of Kimberley. It's burning in steep terrain that is unsafe for crews to reach directly. More than 9,000 residents are being told to be ready to get out on short notice. Conditions improved today, but the fire continues to burn out of control, covering about 570 hectares.
It is hot and dry, and it is forecast to continue being hot and dry. But with those winds backing off, the fire behavior over the last 24 hours, the overnight period and into this morning, has been more of a rank 1 and rank 2.
Helicopters are dropping buckets of water at the fire's edge to try and slow its advance. Redevelopment of Calgary's Arts Commons remains a priority for City Council and those at the Workland Centre. But gaps in funding along with rising costs are creating some new challenges. Moses Woldu explains.
Across from City Hall, the transformation of Olympic Plaza is underway. It's part of 3 projects to revitalize downtown. The city says 2 of those projects, the plaza and the new Arts Commons building, are on time and on budget. However, the modernization work, which includes renovations to the existing Workland building, is facing escalating costs. An initial projection of $270 million is now up to $345 million.
We got a little bit further on. We're up to a Class B estimate now, so we have a more accurate estimate in terms of what the cost of the building might be.
The Workland Centre is doubling its funding request to the city and is now asking for $125 million. The increased costs factor in inflation and making sure the building is up to code and life cycle maintenance.
It's not only just a cost escalation, but there's also a scope increase as well, just to make that project that much better.
The province has committed $103 million towards all 3 projects, while $74.5 million is committed through private and philanthropic donations.
So we are very hopeful and optimistic about that. And the philanthropic money, Calgary individuals and donors and families have stepped up and exceeded all expectations.
However, construction on the Workland building will not begin until the money is secured.
I think what everyone should want is a project that's fully funded when you start. You can manage the costs, you can manage the project, and you can really understand where you're going.
The federal government says it has invited the group to submit an application for infrastructure funding. Sarian says the current building is in need of major upgrades.
Our current facility is over 40 years old, and like we all know, life cycle becomes increasingly a challenge.
The rising price tag has prompted questions from councillors as they prepare to debate Calgary's next 4-year budget.
Plus or minus 10% is great, but let's get that down even tighter, because a 10% increase on $340 million is still a very material amount of money.
I look forward to the conversation in November as we sit down and take a look at all the priorities.
Moses Woldu, CTV News, Calgary.
Albertans now have the option to request a mail-in ballot for the October referendum. All eligible voters in Alberta have the right to request a special ballot. The October 19th referendum features 10 different questions. The deadline for Elections Alberta to receive your special ballot is October 16th. To obtain a mail-in ballot, visit specialballot.elections.ab.ca. Advance polls for the referendum open on October 13th. Grocery stores across Alberta are facing bare milk shelves after an unexpected electrical issue at a dairy production facility. Those details next.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Mounties confirmed today that Saskatchewan Rough Rider team captain Jaden Dalkey was driving on the wrong side of the road when he crashed head-on into another vehicle. Dalkey died, and so did the other driver. Officers say they found alcohol and cannabis inside Dalkey's SUV. The 30-year-old linebacker from Leduc had been traveling on a highway northwest of Regina Saturday night when the crash happened. The driver of the other vehicle, 22-year-old Bhishma Ragajuru, was also killed. A GoFundMe has been set up to take his body back to India. Neither vehicle had any passengers. RCMP also revealed details about Dalkey's movements leading up to the double fatal crash.
We received a report around 8:27 p.m. from a business in Lumsden of a silver SUV leaving without paying for fuel that same day about 30 minutes prior. Investigation has determined that this was the same silver SUV that was involved in the collision.
Police say they are awaiting the results of an autopsy and toxicology reports. Dalkey was signed by the riders in 2022 and helped lead the team to a Grey Cup win last year. Alberta is facing a milk shortage due to a Dairyland factory issue. Tommy Osborne reports.
We're hooped and we're SOL.
Frustration for Calgary small business owners as a Dairyland factory issue has caused a milk shortage across Alberta.
If we don't have milk, they'll go elsewhere and buy their stuff elsewhere. And now they're saying that we might get our milk on our regular days. It's not for sure yet.
Saputo, Dairyland's parent company, says an unexpected electrical issue at its Edmonton fluid production facility temporarily impacted production and supply. All over Calgary, dairy cases are empty and grocery stores are posting signs apologizing for the milk shortage and limiting purchases. Saputo expects service levels to be normal by the end of the week, but even 1 week of uncertainty can cause notable challenges for small business.
We had no way of finding any other milk because all our local suppliers take a week in advance to order.
It could be a possible worry for coffee shops because there will be obviously like a supply disruption.
Some cafes like Kava say things have been okay for now, but should their bulk orders from grocery stores not go through, it could cause headaches, especially since some stores are restricting sales.
If just 2 milks, like only maybe 20 lucky customers could get their, like their usual cappuccinos or lattes.
It would mean my boss driving to all the grocery stores to find it.
Cafe Bino uses around 24-liter jugs of milk a day and Kava 6, so any shortage would quickly be felt by customers.
Only a few lucky customers who usually get their drinks with milk would be able to get their proper milk, right?
Saputo would not comment on how much milk was spoiled due to the facility issue. Tommy Osborne, CTV News, Calgary.
Saputo says it hopes to minimize the impacts by leaning on its national operational and supply network. It says recovery plans at the Edmonton facility are progressing well. People in Rocky Mountain House are cleaning up the damage after a tornado this weekend. Bryn Hansen and his grandmother say the tornado approached their farm and they ran to the basement. 30 seconds later, they checked out the damage. A power pole had come down and several buildings and 4 vehicles had been damaged. The Northern Tornadoes Project says this has been the worst tornado season in about a decade.
From 2017 onwards, we have never had more than 23 tornadoes in Alberta until this year, and we have 26 this year, and it's July. There's still around a month of peak tornado season.
The Hansons say cleanup on the farm will take weeks, but with some help from neighbors, they plan to get it done. Parts of Yellowhead Trail in Edmonton were washed out, stranding vehicles and people in deep water. Trees were downed and some bridges and sidewalks buckled when this storm came through over the weekend. Crews are working to clean it up and pumps are working 24/7, but it will take some time to move the water out. Edmonton has seen record rainfall this year. And the weather story here over the next several days, the heat. Danielle's up next with a Skywatch forecast. Stick around.
All right, temperatures today, right where we should be for this time of year. Calgary, a normal daytime high is 23 degrees. We got to 22. 24 was the high in Pincher Creek, Lethbridge, Brooks, and mid-20s for Drumheller as well. Medicine Hat did get to 27, so one of the warmer spots in southern Alberta for today. All right, so we're looking at temperatures really starting to make their way up again. So we had in Calgary, for example, a few days where it was normal temperatures. Now we're going to go back up to well above normal temperatures, and the heat's really going to build in once again. Another thing you're going to notice with regards to this weather pattern change is we're going to get a little bit of smoke from the north. It won't be as bad as what they've been getting. So earlier today, Edmonton was at a 10 plus, Grand Prairie at a 10 plus, Hinton was at a 9. Fort McMurray at a 9 as well. If you look at the scale up top here, 10 plus is the worst end of the scale. That's very high risk. That's the poorest air quality. For the day in southern Alberta, most communities, Calgary included, we've been at a 3, so on the low end of the scale. We're going to bump up to moderate, though, between 4, 5, and 6 at times throughout these next few days, because we're going to start to get this wind carrying some of that smoke in. So it will carry some of the smoke from the wildfires up north and even circle around and come in from BC as well. So our air quality will not be as good as it has been for these past couple of days, for example, but it won't be as bad as what they're getting to the north. And the north of us, they're under, they have warnings in place, air quality warnings in place, and that basically extends from north of Red Deer and up. All right, earlier today there was some activity, a little bit of thunderstorm activity. It's going to be very few and far between because we're more and more stable, which is why the heat will build. But in southern Alberta, we're not looking at getting a ton of active weather. Very, very isolated if it happens at all on Wednesday, as you can see here. Very few and far between. Less likely to see that in Calgary. More likely east of the QE2 later on Wednesday. All right, that longer range forecast, 26 degrees tomorrow, but with the humidity, it will feel closer to 29. A mix of sun and cloud, and at times we'll get bumped up to that moderate level on that air quality health index. 28 as our high for Wednesday, and check this out, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and for the early part of next week as well, we're looking at daytime highs in those 30s.
All right, Danielle, thank you. It's yet another way to enjoy the water of the Bow River. Next, we'll take a look at the new attractions and features that will be added to this area by the 10th Street Bridge. This is Berkeley from the Calgary Humane Society. Calgary Wild FC are hoping to help her find a home and raise awareness for the Humane Society. A Wednesday's match against the Ottawa Rapid, those who purchase tickets have the option to make a donation to the Humane Society that will be matched up by up to $1,000.
There's any way we can use our platform to help get these animals a home. I think it's such a special thing we get to do, and I know a lot of us are dog lovers, so it was special that we could be a part of it.
Kickoff for the game is 7 p.m. at McMahon Stadium. A new design for a new river surfing hotspot in Calgary has been released. Flood mitigation work is needed along the Bow River under the Louise Bridge and 10th Street. But the plans also include an adjustable wave for surfing and whitewater kayaking. The project also proposes a large public seating area with improved water access. The area had long been a spot for river surfing, but high stream flows and debris has made it unsuitable or unusable in recent years.
There are a lot of hazards in the area. Having a wave that is built and is adjustable not only means that we would get a surfable wave many months of the year, but we would have a safer area with less hazards for things.
The mitigation and wave installation, or the mitigation work and wave installation, is expected to cost $12 million. A construction date has not yet been set, but the work could take up to 3 years. All right, that's it for us here at CTV News at 11:30. Thank you for watching. We will see you soon. Have a great night.